So I never knew how tiring it was to walk down a city block. And I'll explain. So I was a New York City police officer in 2000. Yes, I was there for 7-Eleven. And my foot post in 2000 was 123rd Street between Lenox and 7th Avenue for 8.5 hours. Because of drug activity, and so I'd walk up and down the block all for forever. And over that time, like in those 8.5 hours, you got to know sort of every person, every rat, every smell, like everything about that block. And it was just incredible monotony until you see a Brad. Now, when I say Brad, I really mean car from New Jersey buying drugs. And they weren't all named Brad. There was Broxton and Willett, Kyle and Trevor, right? So racial profiling was a thing then, and it's a thing now. But in Harlem at the time, racial profiling meant stopping Grand Cherokees at the Jersey plates with white kids in them buying drugs. So a little bit about the building that I'm talking about was it was a brownstone, had about 10 units. They were all vacant except for one. It was the top unit, and there was a lovely woman named Mrs. Washington who lived in there. She was like 94 years old. And the rest of the units were all vacant and boarded up with plywood, and enterprising drug dealers would break in to the vacants and then sell drugs in them. Right? It was like a hamster dam kind of thing. And so they would break in, and we tried to board them up again. We tried to padlock them. We tried to move Mrs. Washington. She didn't want to move. And so this is just sort of the state of play, right? It was like co-working for narcotics, right? It was like a WeWork for drugs, right? Is what it was sort of like. And so when this normally happened, when I saw the Brad in the car, I would be like, oh, okay. You'd go inside the building and you'd try and arrest the dealer and the buyer. Now I should say that because the dealer worked there, they were much smarter about how to leave, right? They knew all the exits. The Brad, the buyer, not so much, right? He was usually stuck like with the drugs in his hand staring at you. And yeah, we're supposed to get both, but as I always say, a Brad in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? So you'd get these guys, and then you'd go back to the station, and you'd spend hours doing paperwork and vouchering the drugs and all of this. And then the next morning, Brad's parents, who were shocked that his son has drugs, would bail him out, and then the rest would get dropped. And that was just a lot of work, right? Over and over and over again. It was this vicious cycle, and I was very tired, right? So when I saw the Cherokee, I was like, oh, I had a plan. I was struck with brilliance, right? I'm going to come up with a whole new idea, got a new thing I'm going to try. Everyone's going to be happy. It's going to all work out. I'm not going to do paperwork because it's very important. And so I'm excited, right? I'm invigorated. So I go up to the car, and as I get closer, I can hear the song "Where Are You Going" by Dave Matthews blaring through the window, right? And there's some kid in like chinos and a polo sitting there, and I like knock on the window, and he's terrified. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Listen, I have a great idea. I want to run by you. First of all, let's get to the basics. I know what you're doing. You're buying drugs, right? And that's okay, right? But I want to try this new thing out, right? Where we do something a little different, right? I have a proposition, right? And he's like, oh, no, my friend's visiting his friend from college in there. I'm like, oh, in this building? He's visiting his college friend. Yeah. I'm like, listen, unless your friend went to like a all-female, historically black college in the 1930s, but I'm gonna call bullshit on that story, right? But we don't have time for that, right? So here's the deal, right? I need you, what's gonna happen is your friend's gonna come back, you're gonna give me the drugs, and you're gonna leave, right? You're just gonna go away, right? Back to New Jersey, right? And you won't get arrested, and I won't do paperwork, and like everyone wins, right? And he's like, no, that's not what happened. And now, as you mentioned, as a cop, you get lied to professionally. Like, you're a lie eater. Like, all you do is get lied to all the time, right? Oh, no, the light was yellow. Oh, I didn't see the car coming. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your lunch. Because you're not. Because if you were, you wouldn't fucking interrupt my lunch. So anyway, so you just get used to it, right? And you just get tired of these lies, right? So I'm like, all right, listen, we're going to try something. I'm going to start a sentence, and you're going to finish it, right? We were buying drugs, and then... And he's like, no, we weren't buying drugs. I'm like, no, listen. This is easy, right? You're not going to jail, right? You have one simple job, right? I'm very tired. I just need you to be honest for once in your life with me at this very moment on 123rd Street at 8 p.m., please. We were buying drugs, and then you caught us. And it was like a weight lifted from, I was like, oh God, I like bent my knees in the car, and it was the most amazing feeling I'd ever had, like raw honesty. It was amazing. And so while I'm having this truthgasm at the car, the other dude comes out and sees me, looks terrified, but then like straightens out, right? And he's like, all right, got this, right? Because he's the brains, right? Hat tip, you don't send the brains, you send the brains in to get the drugs. Like the smart guy doesn't sit in the car, right? That's clear, right? So it's always the brains who comes out. So that's fine. So he comes out and sits in the car. He's all cool. I'm like, listen, hey, so I made a deal with your friend. I just need the drugs, and then we can go, right? You can go back home. That's all I need, right? Real simple. No one gets locked up. It's just going to be real easy, right? And he's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, officer. And I was like, okay. I'm like, listen, right? Okay, here's the deal. Plan A is you just give me the drugs and leave. Plan B is I search you and find the drugs, which you totally have on you, right? And then I take you and your friend to jail, and I take the car, because the car's got to go. So I take the car, and then you go to central booking, which is downtown. I do a bunch of paperwork, and yes, I know, your parents are going to bail you out. You're getting out of jail. But today is Saturday, and your parents can't bail you out until Monday morning at 9 a.m. And I said, I don't know if you've ever been in central booking on Saturday or Sunday in the summer, but it's not fun, right? I said, there's no place with like jackets and ties only. There's no special area for you, right? This is like, you're gonna make a lot of friends, right? And this is not like friends that, I'm writing a college essay about these people I met. I said, you ever know how people are like, you can never have enough friends? Look, these are friends you can definitely have enough of. You do not want these friends. I said, you're going to be counting the hours until Monday morning, but it'll be harder because some dude's gonna steal that watch in 4 hours, right? So you'll have no idea what time it is, right? And so then his friend, like the driver's getting more and more nervous and more and more nervous, and after I said the watch line, he was like, just give him the shit, Tommy! And I was like, yes, Tommy, give me the shit. So Tommy reaches his hand out, like hands me the heroin, and I take it. And I'm like, all right, look at you, look at me. We're very white, all of us, right? I'm like the Caucasian whisperer in Harlem. I know every white person in this entire goddamn precinct. If you come back here, I will find you. And then you're going back to make more friends, right? So just go, fly like the wind. Go to Jersey. And they peel off, and I take the drugs, and I throw them in the sewer, which is also known in New York as the second largest evidence locker for the NYPD. And I realized for once, like, maybe I got this thing, right? Maybe I'm getting the hang of this police work because I'm working smarter, not harder. Thank you.